Okay. Hello, hello. Welcome to our team call. I always feel funny saying that. But for real, team call February 2020. We've got January behind us already. It was a really good month, I think, for a lot of people. At least I think a lot of us really got refocused on ourselves and getting ourselves back on track with nutrition, with workouts, with mindset, with all that. And that's like the most important step, because if we're not working on ourselves and taking care of ourselves, there's no way we're gonna be able to take care of other people and get anybody to join us, because why would they if we're not doing it ourselves? So I think January was a really, really good start for a lot of people. So yay for that. I don't have recognition printed out. I posted it in the team page though earlier today. There are a lot, like I think Bethany, Holly, Julie. I know we're already at Success Club 6 and higher for the month. Lorelai's already at 5. Julie's brand new coach is already at 2. So there are a lot of people rocking and rolling. So that's awesome. Volume was up. Like I think we had a solid start, for the year, and energy's high, which again is the most important. And I think that goes right along with us taking care of ourselves and actually being committed to our own journeys, and to building our businesses. When energy's up, everything just works better. People can feel it in your posts, and when they talk to you, they just feel that you're happy and feel that you love what you're doing and want to join that, So that's an awesome thing. Hey, Holly. Couple of things that I wanted to say, and then I'm going to let Suzanne talk a lot too about some inviting that she started last month and things that have really been working for her and kind of just clicked and made sense. But first of all, I wanted to talk a little bit more about mindset and personal development, because most of y'all, Becca, you might not have ever heard me say this before, but a lot of y'all know that I was so like anti personal development for probably the first year to 2 years, at least the first solid year of coaching. I was like, I am not reading those stupid self-help books, like whatever. I don't need that. Like that's for crazy people with all kinds of problems, and that's not me. That's what I thought, and and it's funny because I find that once I obviously changed my mind and started actually reading personal development and realized what it really and truly was, whenever I get back to it and focus on it, it really truly does change things. And it's just such a positive way to start out your day or finish your day, like wherever it is that you get it in your day, if it's morning or night. And some of the ones that I am personally loving right now, Motivation Manifesto, which Suzanne said I would love, and I do. Oh my gosh, I'm on like page 10 and I'm in love with it. I'm sharing, those are the posts that I'm sharing in our Elevate group on the app, and I think everybody's really liking them so far. I've had a lot of people be like, man, I needed to hear that today. I really relate to that. And it's been a really cool book. But I've also been listening to Brendan's podcast, Brendan Burchard. And he has one, if you scroll back, it's in like the 70s of his episodes on his podcast. And there's a series of 7 episodes. It's called Transformation Week. And they're really good. They're not very long. They're probably 20-ish minutes a piece. It's him and his wife. And it's kind of simple tips for like their main, the main areas that you need to focus for your transformation, whatever kind of transformation it is. And like one of them is clarity, gaining your clarity. One of them is your energy. One is necessity, which is a really good one, when he talks about whatever your business is being a necessity for you. Like you have to view it as why you need this. You'd have to hear him say it, because I will totally butcher his whole thought concept, but it was really good. Another one is productivity and stuff like that. But if you don't want to like find it on the podcast app, you can go to transformationweek.com and they will email you all 7 days of it. And you can play the video, you can download like the PDF sheets that he has that goes along with each day. But it's pretty cool. High performance habits. It's those habits. It's the same habits. Yeah. It's just little, like 15, 20 minute clip.
I did it.
Good overview.
When he did it I said, I did it last year when he did it live, and it was really good.
Oh
I
yeah.
really liked it.
Yeah. I've been listening to him. I finished it up yesterday, I think, and just really liked it. I mean, it was, like I said, just a good little, you're putting your makeup on and listen to it or driving.
Totally.
One of the ones that I really liked that he talked about, it's his theory, I guess, called the 5 moves. And I think it was within the productivity section. And he made it sound so freaking simple. It's like, again, why do we overcomplicate everything under the sun? He's like, whatever your big goal is. His example was, be a best-selling author or publish his book or something like that. He's like, break it down into 5 steps. Like, that's all you have to do. Keep it that simple. And for me, I was thinking about, and I meant to write this down because I'm not going to remember them off the top of my head. I was thinking about my big scary goal is to get to 10-star for the bonus. Not so much for the rank itself, but for the bonus, because it's a really freaking big bonus. I really want to work on that and want to make that happen. And it was like, if you break it down into 5 steps, it's like, what do I have to do? Number 1, I have to get better at doing my daily business activities and inviting. Number 2, I have to, post consistently and have my social media planned out. Number 3, I have to recruit coaches. Number 4, I have to, keep all of us that are already coaches engaged. And there was one other step that I had to do, and I can't remember what it was off the top of my head, but like, it's basically breaking your goal down into 5 simple steps. And then you break it down from there even farther, but it makes it seem so much less scary that way, and like doable. It's all doable. You just have to just break it down, not make it seem so overwhelming. So that really spoke to me. The other thing that I wanted to mention was, I don't know if you guys, did y'all listen to the Trent Shelton Diesel Nation call that was on Monday? Holly did. I've got the recording in Delta Fire. I think I posted it twice, but it was really good. He's good. And he's very real and raw and just like normal, I mean, he was an NFL guy and I don't know, somehow turned motivational speaker, whatever. But I mean, he tells a story, but it was really good. And the one part of it that I really liked is he tells a story about his grandfather. And I'm not going to say the whole thing, but basically his grandfather was a gardener. He helped him plant some seeds. And he's like, dude, why are the seeds not growing? Why aren't they growing? Why aren't they growing? It's been a week. Why aren't they growing? Why aren't there plants? And, the grandfather's just like, you got to plant your seeds. You just have to shoot. What was the line he kept saying, Holly? Basically like, have faith that they're going to grow. Trust the process. That's what it was. You just have to trust the process. Just have to trust the process, and months later he calls them, all their plants are grown, whatever. But I thought that is so like what so many people tell us. We plant these seeds, which a lot of it is our social media posts and these little conversations, which Suzanne's going to talk about, on just relating to people. And you just have to grow the relationship. And so many coaches, especially new coaches, they come in month 1 or month 2, they don't see anything happen. And they're like, oh, I'm no good at this. I suck. I can't coach. Can't do it. And that's not true. It just, nobody trusts you yet. You just started. Like, they don't know if you're going to stick with it. So you got to prove to them that you're going to stick with it and you're going to keep going and keep going and keep going. And so that, again, just, it jumped out. I liked that story because it's so much of what we say all the time. But anyway, so my biggest thing for tonight, and I'm going to let Suzanne talk about inviting stuff, is really, if you're not working on obviously your physical journey, but your mental state, your positivity, your excitement, your energy, you have got to find personal development that speaks to you. Just because I like something, just because Holly likes something, Suzanne, like any one of us likes one particular thing, that might not be what relates to you. And that's okay. Find what does. Find what it is that you need, for just where you are and what type of author motivates you. I like the tough love people. I don't like the warm, touchy-feely stuff that's not for me. It does nothing for me. I like the people that are like, look, you just got to do it, and just find what you like. I have had many books that I have gotten into about chapter 2, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. I'm done, and I'll find something else. Like, don't waste your time if it's not working for you, you know? So, mindset, personal development is everything. It's why it's one of our vital behaviors. Hey, Holly, have you gotten that shaken up yet? It's really funny.
No, it's recover blobs up to me. It's blob. Does recover not blob for you?
No, but you're over there just going like this. That was so funny.
I'm sorry, I was distracting.
No, it was hilarious. I was laughing at you. But the other thing I just wanted to mention a little bit about, because I know we have a lot of, new coaches now, not so much on the call. I mean, Becca, you know a little bit of this, and but Emerald, and just for those that rewatch this and share it with your, if you have newer coaches too, be sure to, send this to them once I post the link. But Emerald is such a big deal because, and I know everybody hears us say, oh, one of the first things, you've got to hit SD, you got to get to Emerald. And Emerald is what unlocks your business center. It's not just a rank. It's what starts out your cycle bonuses. And that is what you build from. So it really is super important. You start earning those cycle bonuses. I muted you, Holly. You're good. Hear you smacking on your recover now. No. And she's still muted. What?
It's recharge. I'm crazy.
Oh, that one does clump. Use a whisk.
Oh,
I whisk it first and then shake it.
good idea, because this
Yeah.
is like calf starter. I know.
Oh goodness. Okay. But yes, so Emerald truly unlocks your cycle bonuses, and that's where you grow from. And so it really is important. And a lot of people are like, well, I can't get coaches. Like, that's such a scary thing. And I want for everybody, I mean, even us, as we're just enrolling, regular challengers too, we're trying to build a diamond or trying to build a star diamond or whatever rank we're going for. Remember to think of it as, Beachbody is not a quick fix. This is not some short-term thing. You're coming into this, or they are coming into this because of the support, the workouts that they're going to keep doing, the nutrition that they're going to keep following, the shake that they're going to keep drinking, because you're going to show them and tell them and remind them over and over and over again how valuable it is to their body. It's not just a protein shake, and you constantly have to remind people of that, as especially their first month that they're drinking it. And so think about it in the mentality that these people are coming on board for a lifestyle change. Why not just sign them up as a coach right from the get-go and save them money the next month, right? Like, it just makes financial sense to do that. And I always, will just kind of tell people that when I'm adding coaches anyway, just like, it just makes sense. And I mean, if they don't do it, they don't do it. But I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's doing them a disservice if I don't just mention it, so, because it's going to save them money. I mean, plain and simple. So think about that as you're enrolling new people. Yeah, Holly.
I will say I have more people upset with me when they find out later that they have to pay the $39.95, even though it's reimbursed. It's just the process. I have found that it's just easier to tell them up front, here's the deal. If you even think you're going to like this, you should coach enroll now. You can always cancel later. Yeah. But if you wait until later, you're going to have to pay a $39.95. Yes, I can get it reimbursed, but it's a process.
Yeah, it's like 3 extra steps or something. Like, just do it.
Right. Now. Right. And I do those steps for them, but it's still a rigmarole.
Yeah.
And it's just easier to do it at the get-go.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Totally agree. Especially in states, and I don't know what all of y'all's, different taxes are and stuff, but I know this has been a really big issue with Bree and Rachel up in Washington. Their taxes are apparently like ridiculously low. And so they really don't save a ton of money with the coaching part of it, with that discount. So it's a lot easier for them to coach enroll right off the bat, because then to go back and try to explain it, oh, well, you're going to save X amount of dollars, and it ends up being like $8 or something, you know, and people are like, no, you know? So
That's embarrassing.
yeah, it's like it really doesn't equal out to all that much. So it's hard to convince people why they should switch, you know? So
Sure.
on the other hand, I have a girl that literally could have saved, I think it was almost $300 last year if she would have coach enrolled, and she still won't do it. Like, whatever.
It's just a matter of doing the math.
I mean, to me, that just like makes a whole lot of sense, but
And
whatever.
I think that they're scared of a contract, because I was like, what does this mean? I have to pay so much every month? What does this mean? What am I getting myself into? You know, it's that fear. Because so many MLMs have that.
Yeah. Which is the good thing about us, that we don't at all. So anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. The enrolled is so easy. It's 2 coaches. It's one on your right, one on your left. Becca, in case you didn't know, but I'm pretty sure you knew.
Yeah.
But like, that's it, you know? So, and, you know, do it like a spouse and a parent. Makes it really easy if you can pull that off, if you can make that happen, because then you get to build those in the future once you get yourself to diamond. So it really helps with rank equals cycle bonus equals quarterly bonus in the future. So you're just kind of setting yourself up really well for the long term. But all right, Suzanne, swap it over to you.
Okay. Hey, everybody. So really, I just wanted to talk about how to make inviting a little more simplified and less scary and icky. And so I know that a lot of us have been doing this for a long time, but to be honest, InviteWise last year, I've been doing this for so long, I didn't want to do it anymore. And it wasn't something that I loved about the business. So I obviously let that hurt me last year. And so I sat down at the beginning of this month or this year and decided what would make it work for me, what kind of system would work, and how to make it not gross and yucky and just like desperate, I guess is the word, you know? So I just kind of came up with this little system, and y'all feel free to send me questions or whatever later, but there's like 5 steps. Isn't that funny? Yeah. And I'm just going to go over it real quick, and I've got a couple things to share, and then I'm going to close it out with just a little passage from my personal development that I think we all can relate to. So I'm just going to go ahead and bust this out so I'm not wasting anybody's night. Step 1, you might want a pen and paper because this is actually good shit. Okay, ready? Step 1, great. Okay, create a heartfelt message that you can send to just about anyone, right?
And that's where I struggle.
Well, here are 3 examples.
Like, what? No.
Yes, and I mean, and by heartfelt, that word means genuine. I'm touching your soul in some way. I am getting to that icky part inside this person and offering them a solution, right? So here's one example. I can post my document because I'm reading off my notes.
Yeah, that'd be
in the
awesome.
group. Then y'all don't really have to take notes. But here's one example. Hey, Sandy, a while back, you and I had a conversation about changing your lifestyle or breaking some bad habits that were affecting you negatively. And I just wanted to reach out again and see, hold on, I have to make it bigger. I just want to reach out again and see if you figured things out or if you needed any guidance. You're in my thoughts from time to time. And I just want you to know I'm here for you if you're still looking to change things up and gain more control. I truly hope I can help you and can connect soon. I'd love to have you in my weekly chats with my challengers. Good night, Suzanne. Another one. Hey, Kim. I know it's been a super long time since I reached out, and at one time you were struggling with mindset or health and probably fear of failure. Just wondering where you are now and if you could use any help with anything along those lines. You pop in my mind from time to time, and I would love to have you in my regular chats with my challengers. I hope to hear back from you, Suze. And then here's one more. Hi, Mark. We got to throw a guy in there, right? I know I've reached out to you a couple times, and I believe we were almost on the same page about what you needed to get back on track with your health again, but something came up. I totally understand the craziness of life, and sometimes it just doesn't work out in our favor. Thinking about what you've been through, I wanted to reach out and see where you are with things and offer any help or guidance along the lines of your goals. You are in my thoughts, and I hope we can figure something out for you. Let's please talk soon, Suze. Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, thank you. It was dirty.
It's really just like the beginning part that you're changing
Yeah,
for each person.
and it's just mainly, yeah, just like trying to address people in a way where it's just that connection where you're not just, hey, I've got this challenge group and I know you'd love it. Like it's really hitting like a whole nother level of the thing that's made them reach out to you in the past in the first place.
Right.
So just insert that there, you know. Majority of my customers have been those three people. And so that's why it just feels genuine to say that. But it's also going to be based on, you know, your connections with your people. Okay. Okay, now you've got this written out. You've got the perfect message to send this month and you're feeling good about it. You feel genuine. Do not send it yet. Step 2 is read your mission statement. If you do not have a mission statement as to why you are doing this business, then you need to create one. And I've actually had several, and this year's is a little bit more detailed. I'll just read you mine real quick. Team Brave Fit is supporting the wellness goals of men and women by providing the best tools and resources available with energy, authenticity, and empathy. It is our goal to lead by example and open a door to freedom and happiness, whatever that may mean, to all who value the blessings that life has to offer. Okay, so that is my mission statement for this year. All right. It means something to me and I want to pass that on to other people. So when I sit down to do step 3, I'm reading this and then you're going to view your vision board or read your why. So before you do any inviting, get in touch with your soul and your passion, like read that mission statement. Why do you do this? What will happen when all of these people say yes? How will that make you feel? What will it make you feel like to reach this goal? What does it look like? What is at stake? That's huge for me. And that makes me like throw all the fear out the door when it's like, what is at stake? What am I going to lose? You know? And
that was exactly what I was talking about with Brendan's thing on necessity. That's what it is what is at stake if you don't do this.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I think that is super powerful for people.
It is. I mean, it certainly is for me. And it is totally okay if any of y'all don't relate to this. That's fine. But I do feel like fear can be overcome by the power of why we're doing this and just excitement. Okay. So you're just going to go over it and over it before you start to invite. Pump yourself up, envision yourself walking across the stage, driving that new car, soaking up the sun on a vacation with your family, helping that person that you dreamed of helping and how good that's going to make you feel. Or maybe even just being able to buy the things that you absolutely cannot afford right now. Just be that person, you know. Say your vision out loud, see it, feel it, see yourself operating as your best self and what the best higher version of you would be doing right now. Not the person you are now, the person you want to be. How would they handle inviting? Well, my personal person would not give a hoot about being scared about being inviting, right? So then I just need to become her. So whatever it takes to fuel that fire to overcome the fear, do that in step 2. Okay. Might be drink a glass of wine. I don't know. Now, step 3, you're going to sit down. Maybe you need to sit in front of your vision board. But you're going to sit down and you're going to invite 100 people. Just 100 people. It takes about an hour. So maybe, that's a Saturday. It doesn't really matter when you invite, because the people that really are truly believing in the message that you send, they're going to respond to you.
Yeah.
They don't care that it's Friday night and they're busy. They'll respond to you on Saturday. Okay. So sit down when you have the time and invite. Go through your messenger, old list, old bod customers, anybody that you haven't spoken to in a while, anybody that's been giving you crickets, and just invite nonstop with your vision in mind. Keep thinking about it and don't make excuses as to why someone doesn't need to get a message from you. Doesn't matter. Just send it. Do not respond to any messages until you're done with your 100. Don't get excited that somebody responded. Do not look at it, because that's a distraction. Now, step 4 is what to do with your responses. So this is the big part, and I think this is a piece that I've always been missing. Well, I don't really have systems, so this is like my first one. They answered you, and yay, you're excited. And maybe they answered you and there's a tiny bit of interest, they're going to go on your follow-up list. They're going to be the ones that you either follow up with during your follow-up time, or they're going to go on a 1-week list. It really is going to depend on the conversation that you're having with those people, because if they're like, yeah, give me more info, then obviously give them more info. If they sound interested, but they're not really responding, give them a little bit of time and hit them up on the week list. Really depends on the conversation. If they're not ready yet, or maybe they say, I'm not ready yet, but maybe I'm ready for your next one, those people are going to go on the mid-month list or your 30-day list. Maybe about 10 days to month in, because you're going to be starting a new challenge group. So you kind of want to time it for your next challenge group, but they're going to go on that, whatever it is. So that's where your marketing plan comes into play, because you know what you're going to be inviting them to. A hard no. Nope. Thanks for thinking of me. No, don't talk to me anymore, whatever. You're still going to. And it's going to be 6 months out. Now, your first section, your first grouping of this list is going to be small, but it will grow. And by the end of the year, you're going to have all of these great people to go back on every 6 months. And then you're also going to just constantly be in contact with your customers. Now, you don't have to track it the same way that I do. You can be tracking on paper with highlighters. You can use this great app that if you are technical and you're into computers and apps and stuff, Teamzy is great. It's very organized. It's not expensive. You can do Teamzy. Spreadsheets, just make those different spreadsheets and just, rotate through them every month. I personally don't get excited over anything that has to do with an app or a computer. So that's why none of this has worked for me. And I think it's really important to do something that's icky and change it over to something that brings you joy. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anybody more excited to buy a package of highlighters than Kim was this week. So for me, I've discovered that I really like to do all this journaling stuff. And I promise you, I'm not spending a ton of time on it. But when I see this, I'm excited to reach out to these people because I just drew this up real quick. And I know I have this list. This is my 1-week list. I have my next time list, and I have my 6-month list. So for me, I'm a pen and paper doodle kind of person, and this doesn't scare me. For me, logging onto Teamzy and seeing that list literally freaked me out. it was overwhelming for me. And I know some people get excited over it. So it is going to depend on your personality and your style, but figure out which one works for you and makes you excited to do it, and just do it. Okay. So that's me. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I
love it.
So now you're going to need to plan a date to message your next 100 people. My last 100 people I messaged was on I was kind of like end of month, but normally I'm going to start doing it on the 23rd, so that I have at least 1 week to really lock in Success Club. So probably on the 23rd, I'll be messaging a whole nother bout of 100 people. And then it will just continue on through the whole year. And you'll just constantly be putting people on these really simple lists. Okay. Step 5, coach opportunity. Okay. It's just that. It's an opportunity. Kim already said this today. Your challengers deserve to know about this. And it's unfair for us not to tell them about the discount. And it's unfair that we don't share the incredible potential of the friendships and the rewards and the limitless income that really is there. So every new challenger, a new coach enroll or not, needs to be told about the co-shop. It doesn't have to be gross. Again, heartfelt messages. I've got a couple. Hey, Nance. I had to. You have been killing it with consistency with your shakes, and I know you've been interested in adding some boosts to your shakes. And I thought I'd mention the 25% discount again. We're actually having a coach event on, and we will be going over all the perks of getting a coach membership. Would you be interested in checking this out? That's so easy, you know? Or Emily, you're honestly a 21-day fix rock star, and I've had a bunch of people tell me how inspiring you are. How does that feel? Since you're basically doing everything that I do, what would you say about jumping in my next coach info event to see if getting paid to do what you're already doing might be your jam? Easy. Or this is my last example. Hi, Jennifer, I'm so excited you're making so many friends in our group. Did you know that most of us are all coaches? Some just coach for the discount, but a lot of us became such good friends we just wanted to work together, LOL. We have this awesome event called Coach Summit and a few other trips we can earn, and I truly think you'd be the perfect addition to our next one. I have an info group to tell you about it if you would like to hop in and see if this is something you've been craving in your life. I'd love to see your face in person. Let me know. It's Tuesday night. Talk soon, Suze. So those are a few examples.
So I really like all of those. Those are good.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So,
Good. Post them in our page for sure.
I will. Okay, so the last thing that I want to talk about as far as inviting is fear, because we're all susceptible to that, and especially depending on what we're going through in our lives. It's so much easier to say no to an invite because of whatever is going on or however we're feeling that day. And it's just, I can speak from example, it's all just crap. So, and that's just your self-defense, is like you're so already off put from whatever's going on in your life that you don't want to have that failure. And I just want you to, when you sit down to do this 100, leave the fear in the other room. If your why and vision are strong enough, you're not going to care that Betty's going to say no to you. You don't care. Who cares? If your vision is huge, you're not going to care that someone's not going to talk to you or get mad that you message them, because you're working on you and your goals. And if your why sparks a fire in you that gets you super pumped up, like who cares about the Facebook haters and the possible no's that could be in your inbox in the morning when you wake up? Like, those aren't your people. But guess what? They could be, and they probably will be in a couple years. You have to consistently show up and just shed the fear of it. You know, Betty might say no today, but next month she hit the lottery and she's ready, you know. The person that got mad at you that you message them, had a terrible day, or maybe somebody died, or they're just frustrated and they took it out on you, or they're jealous. I mean, I see that a lot. I mean, that was my problem with Kim. I was mad that she was doing exactly what I wanted to do, and I avoided her for 2 years, and she would message me and I would ignore her. So it's true. So that's exactly it. I would copy all her stuff and pretend I was going to do this on my own. So just know that the people that do hate on you, because it will happen. I mean, I had it happen last week. Just move on. They're eventually going to come around, or they're going to delete you, and it doesn't matter. Haters hate, and it's going to go back to the same thing I just said. Everyone has a story or a reason that they're mean, and it's not you, it's them. You are just their excuse. So now to end this, I just wanted to leave you with one quick little thing, okay? Because I hope this inspires you, and I do hope this helps. Quick little quote. Everybody could use a little personal development, right? As far as I can judge, not much good can be done without disturbing something or somebody, by Edward Blake. So, you're going to change someone's life if you touch that little point in their stomach that makes them kind of go, ugh, I need to make a change, So this is kind of on the aspect of fear, just demonstrating courage. My mouth is so dry. Sorry. What happens when I public speak. I say the only time you should try to measure up to someone else's idea of who you are and what you're capable of is when that person is a role model cheering you on. If someone believes in you and sees greatness in you, sure, try to live up to that. But for anyone who doubts or diminishes you, forget about it. Don't bother trying to please them. Live a life that is yours. Don't seek the approval of the doubters. You'll find no lasting joy in seeking acknowledgement from others. If it comes, it'll never be enough. So the only path left is to express your own truth and pursue your own dreams. When you do this, you'll meet with inevitable criticism. Anticipate that as just one more part of the struggle. Judgment will always be there, just as there will always be cloudy days. Don't let their criticism sway you from your convictions. If you believe in your dream, stay on your path. You need no permission beyond that tingling hope inside your soul. Okay? So I hope this all helps. I know it was kind of a lot, but I'll post this in the group, and it really is simple. It's just a lot of verbiage to explain it. But in all reality, it's a few pieces of paper and a pen, or a couple of moments making a spreadsheet, and you're organized and you have a system, and it does work. I cannot tell you how many people I have responded to. They're not all yeses, believe me, but there's still ongoing conversations, even 10 days later, 9 days later. So I feel really good about this, and I do feel like for those of you who have never invited or don't do it or are scared to, this is the way to do it. This is how you do it, because I don't like it, and I like this. Okay? So if again, new people, this is the last thing I wanted to say. If you have a message and you do not know how to answer it, message one of us. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm better at helping people invite than I am doing it myself. Okay. So if you need help, I'm there. Okay.
Definitely. Yes.
Okay, okay, I'm done talking.
That was awesome. No, I love it. I love it. I love it. And I think a lot of people need, myself included, because I will be the first to admit I completely suck at inviting. I don't know that I did it a single day last year. I don't know that I've done it a single day for multiple years. It's just, I think I get lucky in that my consistency over time, people just know that they can come to me, but it's not because I'm reaching out, so I need this just as much as anybody, because I get stuck with like, like just starting, like I just can't get started because I hate it so much. So yes, I got excited about highlighters because I like highlighters and that makes it fun for me. So each one of my lists will be in a different color. It will be color coded because that's what works for me. But there were a couple other things I was going to say too. Shoot, what was it? I was going to ask you, so are you inviting 100 people like twice a month then? Like say every 2 to 3 weeks kind of thing?
Nope.
Just
Once.
one. Okay.
I mean, that's a lot of people.
It is. Yeah. I know.
So yeah. And and I have noticed that a lot of the top coaches say they do one invite blast and then they work off of that the whole month.
The whole month.
So like the following month, that's
Mm-hmm.
where their leads are coming from.
Right.
So if you can sit down in 1 hour, and I mean, mind you, my last one took an hour and 23 minutes, but I spent time making my message and all this other crap. And I was kind of nervous. But I think it can get down into an hour if you literally just lock yourself in the bathroom or whatever and don't have anybody bugging you. You can knock it out and be done with it. And then there's your base for the next 30 days.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
And I think we need to overwhelm ourselves with much. This is super simple.
Mm-hmm. And something that I've always said and always noticed too, like, you notice for those of us that have been in it for a while, you always notice when you slack off work, it takes a couple months and then you like hit rock bottom, not really, but as far as your business and your customer base, and you're like, well, dang, I hadn't been doing anything for 3 months. Of course I don't have any customers. And then you always think, well, I'm going to start inviting. So that means, oh, I'm going to get new people like now. And it doesn't necessarily mean that. For me, it's like a 3-month window. Every single time this happens, it's like start in January and probably by like March or April, those people are going to be becoming your customers. Like it takes a while to build that relationship. And that's kind of what I was saying too at the beginning. These new coaches, they come in and like, nothing's happening. I'm like, well, it hadn't been enough time, like just stick with it and it'll happen. So I feel like for me, it's always a 3-month window. The other thing I was going to mention, something that I do with the coach invites, not necessarily if I'm inviting to like a sneak peek type group, that Christina does, or, whenever we do them, things like that. But if I'm talking to current challengers that are doing really well, people that have been consistent on Shakeology, like that kind of thing, I will even keep it super simple. And I have an image, it's somewhere in the files and the photos of Delta Fire, I can put it in there again, that just breaks down the math. Like if I get the feeling that it's somebody that literally would have zero interest in coaching because they like aren't even on social media, I'll just send them the math, like keep it so simple. They're like, okay. But if it's people that you kind of think, oh, well, there could be a possibility, like this could benefit them or whatever, I will send them my website page on coaching. And I know it is geared to me. If any of you ever want to send that page, it's on my website. It's called Transform Your Life. And it's all about the coaching opportunity. Feel free to send that, because I have sent that to multiple people that have been like, oh, like for some people, it's just easier to sit down and read about it right there versus go through a group or watch a big long webinar or whatever. Like they can read it in 5 minutes. I've got a little, probably 5 or 10 minute video on there, and that's it. Like it's the basics. It's that simple. So y'all feel free to share that, or, I mean, you could even make just a blog post or type up your own PDF of it. You can go type up things in Canva and save it as a PDF and send it to somebody, like literally with the same exact information. For me, that makes it really easy when we're not anywhere close to one of those sneak peek event things. So
yeah, and any of these invite samples, like you can just change it to say, I've got some information I can send you if you want, would you like, instead of the whole coach op part. So it's just tailored.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anybody have questions or other comments or anything That was awesome, though. Thank you, Suzanne, for telling us all of that.
Oh, you're
Another
welcome.
thing that I have thought about doing along these exact same lines is I would really, and I just need to do it. I would like to put a post in like our bigger, like our Diesel Nation team page, and just ask for everybody's best practices on inviting and create a document for us, you know, or and share it with any of the teams that, you know, have input, but create like one simple document with all kinds of ideas, because everybody does it a different way. And it, you know, like Suzanne's way might click for some people, Holly's way might click for some people, you know, I mean, you never know. So I need to get to work on that, because I've been thinking about that for a couple weeks now and I just haven't done it. So I think that could be useful though.
Yeah, and I think it's helpful to, for all of us, like building teams or even just getting back into it, to have like good scripts or templates to at least know where to start. Like, I mean, the word invite is so misleading because it's not really an invite. It's more like a startup conversation that leads to a solution. You know, it's not really an invitation. You're not constantly just inviting people. I feel like the majority of my things are more just to get people re-engaged or just get someone engaged, you know? So don't let the word invite mean that you're strictly inviting them to a group.
Yep.
Yay, I'm done.
Anybody else have anything? Want to ask, share, whatever?
I just call them conversations when I do 100. I
Yeah.
don't call them invites.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So,
Engagement.
And I forget what they even changed it to in the online office. It's not like that vital behavior is not invite anymore. It's connect something invite. Like,
yeah,
I can't remember what the second word is, but it's much more like building the relationship. Like you said, starting the conversation, connecting with people, building a relationship, and then you reach a point where, yeah, you have a solution for their need, basically.
perfect.
Awesome.
Well, I hope this helped. And honestly, like, I'm an open door. So if you get a crazy response and don't know how to answer it, I can probably help you.
I'm going to send you mine, Suzanne.
It's fine with me. I tell you, I'm better at helping other people than I am myself.
I sent you mine before.
I told a lot of my vet
Huh?
people this.
I've sent you mine.
Do
Yeah,
I?
you have.
I've sent some to Suzanne that had to do with nutrition, like stuff I knew she would know because of, what was it, Jenny Craig or?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I've definitely helped you, and I've helped Bethany before. And I mean, I don't know, I'm definitely better at wording and training other people than running my own business.
That's why we're a team, right?
Yes.
That's how I feel.
We're
I'm
straight.
like, I can remember all the stuff that are in all the FAQs and all the announcements and everything, but then I suck at like engaging people.
We're great. We're a great group.
We are. Pretty awesome.
We need to take a picture.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let me close this chat box.
And a little necklace.
All righty. Everybody ready to say cheese?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Got it. I will
Great.
post in Delta Fire. I will post. I'm going to stop recording real quick.